President Donald Trump announced trade negotiations with Canada are canceled over a commercial. It comes after the province of Ontario used former President Ronald Reagan's voice and sentiment in an ad that's critical of tariffs.
Our Rob Petrie talks about the tension from the KeyBank Center tonight, where the Toronto Maple Leafs are set to take on the Sabres.
Yeah, you have to admire the love that hockey fans have for the sport, especially those fans that are here today cheering on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I spoke to several of them who made the trip across the border today to the U.S. from Canada. They said despite the news that trade talks between the U.S. and Canada have halted by President Trump's decision, it's not influencing their decision to come here to shop and enjoy the sport that they love.
We're here for a hockey game.
Hockey game, no politics. Just the Leafs.
We weren't afraid of getting fingerprinted and them asking for our phones. No.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing at all.
We're good people.
The news to halt negotiations came late Thursday after President Trump took to Truth Social saying based on their egregious behavior, all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated. This comes after Ontario released an ad that included excerpts from a 1987 radio address given by Ronald Reagan where the former president criticized tariffs. Western New York and Canada have a historically strong cross-border connection that helps shape the area's economy. And that's what I sat down today with Scott Barkowski to talk about. He's a labor economist and UB professor with their Department of Economics. He provided some insight on how this might affect our area if a deal is not reached. It could have real implications when it comes to Western New York.
If it does end up causing there to be significantly less trade, then it will definitely hurt the Western New York region because obviously Canada is such a big trade partner. It makes it more difficult for businesses to know what decisions they're going to make. How can they know whether they need to open a new location if they're unsure if they're going to be able to get enough product in the future if they're like importing from Canada, for example?
Now, that is, of course, a worst-case scenario if talks don't resume and a deal isn't made. But historically, the Trump administration usually strategically pauses and then picks back up negotiations where a deal is eventually reached. But Professor Barkowski believes that there will be a deal reached. The big question is when will it be, and that time in between and how that impacts Western New York will certainly be something that we keep an eye on. Reporting here in Buffalo, outside the KeyBank Center, Rob Petrie, News 4.